Previously on my 35-year-old life, I enjoyed painting a cake at Butter Studio and fell in love with a red panda at the zoo. Now it was time for day 5 of my Singapore adventure.
No camera catch-up today. We're just hitting the ground running and going to go get breakfast. So right now there is a holiday going on in Little India. So I guess I picked a hell of a time to come to Singapore.
I woke up to a loud thump and vibration this morning in Singapore and went outside to find a colorful celebration of Thai Pusan. From what I researched, Thai Pusan is the celebration of a Hindu god's victory over a demon. It was truly something amazing to witness. Then it was time for me to catch the subway, which I was initially hesitant about, but it's pretty easy to get around. As someone with anxiety, it can be scary to challenge myself to do things outside of my comfort zone. But these past couple of years, I have come a long way. Even my therapist said she's proud of me. I finally made it to the restaurant, Nanyang Dao. One thing about Singapore, if you like Asian cuisines, you're gonna love it here. I started off with a 3-layer coffee with grass jelly. I needed a little bit of a pick-me-up. I'm not naturally a morning person. Then it was time for one of my favorite meals, nasi lemak. Sweet, savory, and delicious. What more can a girl ask for? Now, since I already explored the 3 possible neighborhoods for relocation, now the main focus was activities and lifestyle. So if you can't tell by now, I love the arts. So I found myself at the National Gallery of Singapore. Today, I was looking at the Xiong Mao Skull Panda exhibit. You've probably seen these figurines everywhere. And if not, I guess I'll introduce you to them today. So the theme of this exhibit seemed to have a lot to do with expressing emotion, time, and vulnerability. I don't know if it was just me, but something about the exhibit felt very haunting. And here's me reading about how the crystals connected to the material and the spiritual. So after the first few rooms, the rest of the exhibit takes place in the basement. But before you get there, you can check out the gift shop. There were tons of cute figurines, and if I was into that, I would have bought some. I definitely admired the creativity and the thought that went behind the work. Perhaps in a past life, I was an artist, because I'll never turn down a cool exhibit, especially one you can interact with. In the extended basement exhibit, they had these massive sculptures in the center of the room, along with smaller figurines and cages. Definitely an unnerving vibe. The next exhibit that I visited was Once Upon a Tide, which documented the history of Singapore. It talked about the colonialism, how the British established a free trade port, the use of Singapore's limited land, and the future development of Singapore. They also had these mini quizzes that you could take throughout the exhibit, and in the end, it would give you your personality. Who knew I was such an environmentalist? Now, the last exhibit I felt was very short, and its focus was pre-colonial Singapore. You basically walk down this winding ramp, and then you walk into the room where you see a large underwater crab. I didn't really get it, but I enjoyed the overall experience. Next stop was a luxury spa, which I couldn't film for obvious reasons.
I just came back from the massage place. I don't think you can hear me. We're near the National Stadium. I went in with a full face of makeup, and as you can see, it's all gone. And look how refreshed I looked. This is incredible. I absolutely loved it there.
Soon, I made my way to a random mall. I wanted to check out the drinks at 559 Cafe Bistro. After much deliberation, I settled on this jelly panda drink. The taste wasn't very strong. It was mildly sweet, and the texture definitely took some getting used to. So far, Singapore is exactly how people described it. Very low friction. Everything was just so easy and smooth. It was very different from America, where you don't know what's gonna pop up next. Since it was my day 5 in Singapore, I decided I wanted to do some shopping. I went to a mini perfume, cologne, and makeup store, and for someone like me who doesn't have a high budget, this was the perfect match. I decided to look at some colognes for my brothers, and I got a little something for myself as well. A girl can never have too many perfumes. No matter what, I'll definitely make sure I go back. It's been a dream of mine to have my own mini perfume collection. Afterwards, I headed to the shopping center Clake Quay to have a bite. Since breakfast was heavy, I decided to keep it light with a smoothie bowl, and the restaurant was pretty much empty, which I love. At this point in my trip, I began to do some reflecting on what I thought of Singapore so far. Part of me missed the spontaneity of America, and the other part of me recognized that this was the calmest I'd been in years. Anyway, until next time, au revoir.